Pradhana. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavadvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. As a part of our Jnana Yajna, we are in the 4th week. We have covered 4 different subjects, including Prarthana Shatapadi, week 1, and second is Atma Shatakam, third one is Maya Panchakam, and 4th one is Sadhana Chatustayam. As a continuity of the learning process, we, or on the request of the organizers, we continue to harp on the Sadhana Chatustayam. We discussed yesterday one part of that, Viveka, and tomorrow will be Viraga or Vairagya. But today we thought we will be taking those 6 virtues, Shatka Sampati. We will concentrate on that one. Now, our Shastras, our knowledge is vast, starting from Vedas to the Puranas, to the Prakarana to the Mahavakyas and Slokas and Stotras, and also many prayers. There was a need for systematization of this knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is the knowing yourself. And the knowledge is discussed in 2 different major categories. One is, knowledge is called Vidya in a Sanskrit term. And that Vidya could be 2 levels. One is Paravidya, other one is Aparavidya. Param means behind our conception, perception. Param is higher knowledge. Aparavidya is lower knowledge. Doesn't mean lower knowledge is false or mithya, and it is just gives you the vehicle as a process of the steps to climb and go and attain that Paravidya. In other words, is knowing about the God is Paravidya, and a process or means that we are going up to that Paravidya is called Aparavidya. Vidya is a knowledge in usual terms, and the Avidya or Aparavidya in a way we call as Avidya. In Avidya operates in 2 ways. One is Avarana, because completely ignorant of what you are, or Vikshepa. You know who you are, but you misapprehend, non-apprehend. And that is called Vikshepa, projection. So if we understand this Vidya and Avidya, at our level, as long as we are in duality, we need to understand there are 2 things that mask that knowledge. Then we need to unmask, take away that knowledge. So, in order to get that knowledge in a systematic manner, we need to have a process. We need to have a person, and we need to have a vehicle. So that is explained very good in our Shastras. And these are the basic steps that you need to take. And that's called Anubandha Chatustaya. What is Anubandha Chatustaya means? Interrelated. We have been talking about right from our Jnana Yajna in the beginning, starting from the Prardhana Shatapati, that we entire play or entire drama or entire visualized or expressed universe has three entities. One is Jiva, which is Jivatma. The other one is Paramatma, which is Jagadishvara. And in between, we are playing on the Kshetra, which is called Jagat. These three interactions, how we deal with them, that's the most important one. So they say this relation has been explained in the Anubandha Chatustaya. What it means is, among these three, what is the subject matter? What is the Vishaya? Number one, Vishaya. What is that we are looking for, this interaction, or in a travel in our life, is that Brahman, that knowledge, the truth, absolute truth. That is, we call Brahman. That is this Vishaya, ultimate Vishaya. There is nothing else. That is the ultimate Vishaya, because that is the only thing that is existing. There is no other. And we remember that there is only one, that is the Brahman. And you can call in any terminology, whether it is a self, whether you call the universal consciousness, or ultimate, mighty force, or you can call energy or energetic. And behind that, our human perception, conception. So that is a subject, Vishaya. The second one is Prayojana. What is the, so why do we need to know that Brahman, the alone? Because you need to, realize that you are that one. So you are the one with him, you are a part of him, or be with him all the time. So that is the Prayojana, knowing this knowledge, or going on the steps wise. Then how does it happen? You need to have a third one is called Adhikari. Adhikari is the person who is eligible to know that knowledge. We know the Brahman, we know the Prayojana, but Adhikari, who is getting that Prayojana? Adhikari, who is eligible for that. Anybody is eligible. Any human being is eligible. And that Adhikari, with the Prayojana, with the ultimate subject is Vishaya Brahman, that is the Sambandha. That is the Sambandha between these three. And that's called Anubandha Chatustaya. So in that order, the Adhikari is the one we talked about. Is the subject matter is called Sadhana Chatustaya. That Adhikari, eligible person, either you or me, when we incline to know who am I, that inclination makes you realize that sadhana chatusthai is necessary. So the sadhana chatusthai is for adhikari. That adhikari have to have these four pillars. That's a basic necessity to understand our scriptures. Now, what are those? And there is a beautiful, together, wise put together is a small sloka on that one. Adav nitya anitya vastu viveka parignayate. That is number one. Okay? Iha amurta palabhoga viragastad anantaram shamati shat sampati, satka sampati mumukshatvam iti sputam. So there are four of them. Sadhana Chatusthayam. Sadhana is the practice or steps. And the first one is you have to have an inquiry into that one. That is Viveka. What is Nityam? what is anityam, what is the truth, what is untruth, and what is the vidya, what is avidya. This is all duality on those things. So you have to know the discrimination, because vidya is necessary, knowledge, absolute knowledge is necessary in order to realize who you are. So that is Viveka. That Viveka, how does it happen to anybody? In the life, from the birth to traveling to towards your end of your life, there are many things happen. Then you will be thinking, mother is my God, she is all. Then once you are growing up, mother, we are much more mightier than mother. Then you look at the father, you look at the other people, look at the leaders, look at the other people, bigger than, they can, do much more than the mother. So you go on doing that one till at the 60 years, 70 years, 90 years, you will see that those are all only temporary, transient, and they don't give you the things that you want. And they can be changing from time and place. So then you will get, what is this? Yesterday we talked about our own children sometimes are not taking care of the grandparents. They dump them. And very tragic things that is happening everywhere, even particularly in India. Sometimes the sons, they take father and leave in a railway station, thinking that, telling that I will go and, bring something. And he is left alone on the railway station, never come back there. And that type of status now, so then you get the vairagya. Or somebody dies, and then you will get vairagya. Somebody going through all those, or somebody includes you, you will get all this, kind of situations that we talked about, that we remember only that inclination, or we get that inclination only in three situations. One is called artha, when you are in the difficulty. Number two is when is ardharti, that you need something. And number three is jinyasu, what is happening around this? Why are all these things happening? So you get a jinyasu. So that drives you to the vairagya. So viveka, vairagya is the second step. Now there is a systematically that you need to have a virtues in order to understand this. What is this Brahman, the subject matter? Why all these things happening in front of you? So in order to understand, he has given, that ultimate force has given you equipment. We talked about briefly yesterday. There's an external equipment, there's an internal equipment. The external equipment is 20. There are 24 elements. Sakya philosophy is 24 elements. We talked about Panchabhutas, Jnanendriyas, 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 the Karmendriyas. Then you have 5 Panchapranas. Those are the external equipment. Then you have the internal equipment. It's called Antakarana. Antakarana has 4. You talk Manas, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. Now, all these things too many for us to understand, scientifically. But it has been proven, even the science has proven there is a 12 matter and 12 antimatter. And you analyze them to the up to subatomic particles, and with the quarks and what are the other things?
Bosons.
All those subatomic particles. If you count them, there are also 24.
Yeah.
But these 24 of scientific one and 24 of Sankhya philosophy, they are nothing if you don't have that Chaitanya, that universal consciousness, that spirit. That is not there, these are all Jada. So Chidatmik, Jada Chidatmik. Jada is a 24 and Chidatma, Atma, that self shining, self, supported, self-effulgent. And that one is the 25th one. So once you know these things, we will concentrate only on the internal equipment, those two. One is the buddhi, other one is manas. Let's see how. All life, samsara, from the birth to growth and decline to the death, Samsara is a disease. Samsara is not the one we are talking about, my wife, my children, my friends, and that is not the samsara. Samsara is the human birth. Human birth, from the birth to the growth to the decline to the death. That is samsara. Many of us misunderstand samsara means my family and that one. That's not the samsara we are talking about. Samsara itself is a disease. That's why we are born into that, to exhaust our vasanas, to exhaust our karma imprints. That's why our human goal is called Purusharthas. And those Purusharthas we'll talk a little later, but let me finish up this, what is this Sampati. So, in that Sampati, you use those two, mind and buddhi. Mind is what? Mind is your desire motivated kalpana. Then you create the things. Buddhi is, once mind brings all this information, the buddhi will be discriminating and determining power. Let's remember that one. Based upon these two entities, Shankaracharya, even before Shastras, Shankaracharya consolidated these four pillars, make them understand even the common person. So those are Satka Sampati. 6 virtues are Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. These are the 6 virtues. Let's see how we can discuss briefly on those 6 virtues on that. What is Shama? Shama is a tranquility. Shama is restraining the mind, be calm and quiet. No, you have to be contentment. Whatever is given, you did not create yourself, and you did not even create your own son and daughter. It is given. You came with naked, with nothing in your hands. Empty-handed you came. Everything is given in your life. But what we do, the minute we are aware of our body, mind, consciousness, we attach to that one and we start thinking, it is me, it's my I, it's mine, that type of feeling. So the Shama is that one, with the Viveka and Vairagya already you have. You need to have these virtues. Because you already have inclined to know. There's only after that only this will come. Then only you will be able to, control the mind or work on that mind. So no desires. Let's say everything is given, God, yes. Desire is only remembering that Brahman, that everything you do, your duty. Remember that we are an actor, we have a costume, that we have to play our acting on that one. The second one is Dhamma. Dhamma is the training or controlling your horses, which is senses. And that's very important because that is the one you are outgoing with that one. So with the desire, you need to go towards within you, but you start going outwards like horses. You continue to gallop on those things, desires. And then it takes you, once you have a calmness of the mind, which is related, is the Shama. Then second one is the one restraining the senses. Then you go to the Uparati, withdrawal. Withdrawal from what? See, withdrawal from the desires of the objects, which is a duality. Because you are full, you are already full, but you feel empty, you feel limited. So at that time what happens is that since I am limited, I try to get full on that one. Because of the ignorance. You are already full, but you don't know that one. You are already Sat Chit Ananda, but you are in an ignorant one. So how do you take out that ignorance? And that is the one, cessation of the worldly desires first. Because don't go for outward. Try to remember that there is everything, a treasure is already there. Just be happy with that. Be content with that one. Then next step it goes. Once you have done this Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, it will take you Titiksha. So you did try everything. And then everything, in spite of everything, something can go wrong. At that time, you had to have a forbearance. You had to make sure that that titiksha, just ignore whether somebody praising you or somebody insulting you, it's equal. Nothing. Because you know that it is not body mind thing, it is you, the Atma. So whatever is happening, let it happen. That is called titiksha, forbearance. And that can be happening because in spite of all the effort you do it, all these three forces I talked about, Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, all those things will be working you at every step. So in spite of your effort and all those things, you just take it as it is, as they are, titiksha. Then after that, once you have done this, the fifth step, Shraddha. Shraddha is not faith that usually people misunderstand, or in a way that you want to use that commonly. It's a deep faith. Deep faith with the conviction that you have a belief in the authority of the Vedas, the knowledge that is available, because it is not human given, it is apaurushaya. So you have to believe in that one. That is Shraddha. That's not a simple faith. Somebody else came, a savior came, a swami came, or some other guru came, and they said that this is what I tell, then you believe in that one. It's not that. You don't believe in the persons on it, but you believe in those shastras, Vedas. That is the deep faith. That is called Shraddha. And then the second one, just like a bird cannot fly with one wing, it needs two wings to fly. So the Shraddha needs two wings. Not only shastras, but you need guru. And a guru is also not a simple guru. He has to be Sadguru. And a Sadguru he has a Stotriya and Brahmanista or Jnananista. So he has to be in that one. He is not a simple Brahmana. It's not a Brahmana Vidya or Vedic knowledge. Even the Vedas are, is only the vehicle. It's not the ultimate one. And so Brahmanas who are very, very versed with this, the Vedas, they're also not a perfect guru. They have to have a practicality and they have to live in that one, and they have to, whatever preaching, they have to practice it, and that's the one. So you need a guru and you need shastras. And that's called Shraddha. Then it takes you to the Samadhana. Samadhana is what? With that Shraddha, you have to have a focus. Your focus is only one. The only one is that Brahman, that everything is play. So you have to. So that Samadhana focus is one of the things, And a peace of mind will automatically happen. You don't have to struggle for that. Once you go into that Upasana with the Shraddha, then it takes you to that. So these, after this, all these things happen with the Vichara, Viveka number 1, then Vairagya, then Satsampati, then you have a Mumukshatva. Takes you to the Mumukshatva. Entire intense desire that this is all duality, this is my ignorance, avidya, let me get rid of that. Once you take out those layers, ignorance, you are what you are, Satchitananda, you Swarupa. Your Swarupa is just like a fire has the light and the warmthness, and your Swarupa is loving and giving. That's your Swarupa. Love is not the one you fall in love with somebody else. You rise with the love, as Swamiji said. Love is unexplainable. If you love your wife or children or love something, you are not loving them. You are loving yourself. What they make you happy is yourself. You are trying to, get that self-ananda because it is an extension of that one. You are looking for the praise. You are looking for, some contentment, all the things, because you think limited. But that love is yourself, your nature. In other words, is loving, giving, and I said is, even with the medical science, even the heart rate of 72, I told you, love and dub, the sounds, Shabdam Brahmam, Nadam Brahmam, that is itself is love. And then you take further, when the mumukshatam, the keen desire to know you are, taking out all these layers with the neti, with the adhyasa, adhyaropa, all those are too many words are using that one, but these are all processes. Once you become jnani, I told you that those three artha, ardharthi, jinyasu, then when you go to the mumukshatvam, you become a jnani. And a jnani will tell you ultimately you are the Sat Chitta Ananda. Sat Chitta Ananda. That ultimate knowledge that you are looking for. The stories of 10th man, looking for a 10th man. All those things are to make you understand that you are having your glasses and put it on your head. You are looking for the glasses everywhere. But that's with you. You have your own child in your lab, but you are going around and asking, where is my child, where is my child? It is within you. You are that Satchitananda. And that is the knowledge. These the four pillars are very important to know yourself. Self-realization is nothing but not you are going to get it. You are not going to get the moksha. And in order to get the moksha, liberation from this bondage which is called samsara, is only take out layers out. Just take away the ignorance, then that will be shining on that. So that is the kind of the steps they are talking. But these things does not happen overnight. We're all born ignorant. That it takes a lot of steps. We talked about the many processes in that one, and it's not easy. Sometimes the knowledge is there, but we don't apply. For example, now you go to a mango tree. Mango tree is fully laden with the fruits, ripe, very attractive, shiny. You go there and then you try to count the number of the leaves on that. How many leaves are there in the mango for the knowledge sake? Oh, I am going to be Guinness Book of Records. What's going to happen? You are doing damage for yourself, damage to the tree also. The tree is fully, ridden with fruits. It's heavy. It's having heaviness. It's begging you to take. I'm giving you these fruits. So when you pluck the fruits, you are taking the weight on that one. At the same time, you are eating that fruit and you have that makaranda, whatever that is there, you are enjoying it. Instead of that one, just knowledge, you just continue to do the knowledge till death. What knowledge is useful? Going up to the tree and then looking into that one. And the second example is, common example we see, we get onto the train and a lot of people, particularly the villagers and others, even the educated people sometimes, they try to keep the luggage or baggage, say for example, a villager climbs onto the train and he puts a heavy luggage on your shoulder because he was carrying from outside. In the train also is to continue to, carry on that one. Unload, because there is no need that you have to carry now. Now it's a train will carry you. So unload all these things onto the God. And unload everything. That's why we talked about the basic things that in order to understand this thing, basic things are three. Sravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasanam. Sravanam is intense listening. To that, who? Shastras and Guru. And that is the Shravanam. That is important. Mananam, not only you read it, you have to reflect on that one. Once you reflect on that one, you go through these steps. Samadhama. And then you have that Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. You do that. That manana then take you to the Nididhyasana, which is a dwelling on it all the time. Anything you do, whether you're a doctor, actor, or engineer, you do your work keeping an eye on that one, remembering me, and do everything. Parityajya. Leave all dharmas, come back to me. Means that you do whatever you're doing it, but remember that it is not you. It's everything is, I. So that is the essential teaching of that, in that. And then, but this is not easily understandable, easily followable. by the common man like you and me, that they say there are simpler methods. Just like they gave Vedas to very difficult to understand, they gave you Itihasas and Puranas and Mahavakyas, all those things they explain on those bhashyas. Likewise, they are also given simple procedures. They built, the temples. Temples were not there in Dwapara Yuga. They started only in the Kali Yuga. They built those temples. They built the ashrams. They built all these, kind of punakshetras. Why? Because they deduce that the only way you can reach that knowledge is by a vehicle. You have to climb the steps. Whether it is they talk about the Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, all these 4 yogas. These are only steps. They are not independent of each other. They are together. Anything to get the jnana, you need to have a karma. You have to do the action. Bhakti, anything that you need to do that, you need the grace of that force which is not in your control. You need a bhakti, you need to do the karma in order to get the jnana. And even further, the people who don't have the knowledge about these Vedas and other things, through the Puranas and Itihasas, they have personified these things and put in a Rama form, the Krishna. They are really happened. There's historical documents. But there is a deeper meaning behind those, the stories. That we need to understand. Further simplified. That's why we talked about other steps. We talked about simple stuff is 9 process of bhakti. In that 9 process of bhakti is, you have, first thing is a Sravanam, Smaranam, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dashyam, Atmanivedanam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. These 9 processes are important. Any one of them, but first 3 are very important. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. These are the important. And one of them is the Sravanam. Mananam, Nadityasana. The Sravanam comes into these simple processes. You can, according to your maturity, according to your personality, your volition or your aptitude. Then we also talked about in karma. In karma, you continue to do the karma, but 2 paths. One is the Marjala, other one is Markata. Marjala is what? Cat Nyayam, how? Picks up you just Sharanagati and it will pick you up, mother will pick you up and place you. That doesn't mean you lying down at one place is laziness or tamas. It's not. You are doing. Lying means you are lying in the action what you are doing it. Whatever you are doing it with this doctor, actor, whatever you are doing it, you do it, God will take care of it. Because you are always depending upon, you are trusting that mother. And then it will, the things. That's called Marjala. Markata is the monkey. Monkey is also action. You have to hold on the mother when the mother monkey is jumping from one branch to the other branch. And that's the karma. You are active work. The other one is the passive. Everything you believe in, do that. That's karma. Then we also simple methods we talked about repeatedly. I am just putting this knowledge together based upon my remembrance. And then I thought these are simple methods. So we talked about 9 processes and we talked about 2 paths. But there are also 5 ways of relations you can develop during your lifetime. That 5 ways of relations I talked to you, starting from lowest, not lower, higher, but simpler understanding is Prabhu Bhakti, Hanuman and Rama. Then you have a second one is called Vachalya Bhakti, Yashoda and Krishna. Then you have Sakya Bhakti, Krishna and Arjuna. Then you have Kanta Bhakti, husband and wife, which could be any Trinity gods. You have to have a relations like that. And typical example is the either you can take the Krishna and Rukmini, or you can take the Parvati Ishvara, not Ishvara, Shiva. Right. Then after the ultimate is Ananya Bhakti. No difference. It's always that close. There is no difference between you and him. Atman, Brahman, same. And that understanding is the most important one. in the 5 ways of relations of. Now, if you see the pictures, any pictures, Prabhu Bhakti is the distance between that. We talked about Sayujya, Samipya, Swarupya, all those relations, how it is. We don't go to the details, but just to look at the pictures. Prabhu Bhakti, servant and master. See, they are most of the time they are with him, but during the night time they are not with the master. Vachalya Bhakti, only when the child, when it needed, just like when the plant is growing up, and you need to water it, you need to have a fence it. But once it's grow up, the fence is an obstacle. You cannot put that fence because it has to grow. And also, you cannot go on watering because it has a deeper roots. So whatever you are done, take out the fence, let it take care. Then the same one that you've taken care of it, you will give the animals that are going to come and eat that plant when it is young, because you prevented the vultures and other things, coming and eating that plant. The same plant and the same animal wanted to eat the plant. Same plant gives the shade to the same animal which wanted to eat that. So that is a kind of shadow type. And then you see that the Yashoda and Krishna, when the baby, you take care of it as a baby. When it's growing up, you don't have any control on that one. Third one is the Sakya Bhakti. Friend is much more closer. You can much more closer than the mother, right? Then of course, even in the Kanta Bhakti is much more closer, as a husband and wife, how intimate you are. But still, these family pictures you see, they're separate. Only picture. See, but then even in the Kanta Bhakti, and sometimes they divorce, sometimes they go away, all those things happen. In Ananya Bhakti, did you ever see Radha and Krishna pictures separate? It's always intertwining. It's always close. Radha leaning on the thing. And other example in that one, in the Ishvara level are Parvati Shiva. They are also Ardhanarishvara. Ardhanarishvara is an understanding in the Shaiva, and Vaishnava is the Radha Krishna. That's Ananya Bhakti on that one. So with all these things, they have given us a kind of understanding for us to stepwise, climb on that. Now, in spite of all these things, our mind is not easy to control. It's a chanchala. Most of the sufferings that we have is by the mind. Pain is for the body. As a medical doctors, we have noted, we can visualize how is suffering externally. That's a pain is to the physical body. Mind is also subtle physical body, but mind is suffering. That person only knows how much suffering is going on because it is subtle. You cannot see. Person may be just sitting in front of you, look like he's always smiling outward, but how much is going through? So you need to understand the whole, not as a part of the body, because you are the whole. So in order to understand the whole, you need to be going through the part, then part by part, when you say, oh my God, these are all parts of the whole, then you see that you feel the part of the whole, and then you whole of the whole. That's why Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. What whole is whole? You take the whole out of that whole becomes, the same. This whole is gone, that also whole remains the same. So that is what we are. We are all amsha, amshis. We are all Brahma, ekameva dvitiyam. Only one becomes dual, but it's all one. That is the ultimate knowledge. That we need to understand by step. And then they have given examples how to win this mind, how to win, realize that no matter how big you are limited if you are attached to the mind body. There are beautiful stories. One is the Jada Bharata, and the Bharata Desha, Bharata continent, did not come from the Bharata, the son of the Shakuntala. Bharata, that from even the eons ago, with the Satya Yuga, where his Bharata was the youngest son of that Jada Bharata story. And if you have a time, just go into that Jada Bharata, how attachment to the body takes you. And then other one beautifully elicited is in the Puranas, Bhagavata Purana, is a Gajendra Moksham. Look at that mighty elephant having a biggest ego. And when she was ruling, she's the king of the forest. And when she was going to the even that lake, then to take a shower, and she was looking at all this entourage, all the people, the wives, how many wives he had, how many friends, relatives, all the entire country is following, because it's a mighty king going into the lake to take a shower. And remember what happened, because with the biggest ego, and then that ego himself will crush him. When he goes there, crocodile. That crocodile is the ankara. That it pulls you down. And then once you're struggling and struggling and struggling, you don't want to show to your people that you're weak. You struggle and struggle, you go through all these steps. Then only remember. Then the Gajendra, he prays, and then Lord Vishnu come and then rescue him. That's a beautiful story they have given, because it takes time. And anytime, it takes you time also to understand the basic step is, in order to put out the fire, you don't put the ghee. You don't give more desires. One more desire, the fire will be going up. You need the water, cooling effect. You need to know, that is the Viveka. Then in spite of doing all those things, still something may not happen, You put the fire, you put the pot, you put all those things, you want to do a beautiful prasada or biryani, it may not come. Then, all those things is temporary. And the same ice cream that you eat, first spoon, then if you go on eating it, you get vairagya. And then it takes you all those things. So this step by step you learn from the life. So that ultimately the wise said that, and then Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi's favorite saying is from our Upanishads, is that, give me the power to change what I can, the will to bear what I cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that's the ultimate teaching in our Shastras. And with that, I think at this time, we will finish up this one. And we'll finish up with the mantra, the Purnashanta mantra, Purnamadam. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.